the restore database. In a traditional ways, right? So you have a database, and maybe this is a disaster. So your database is completely maybe corrupted, right? So you are planning to restore your database back to the original state. And when you are planning to restore your database back to the original state, it could be a current state, or maybe you are planning to restore a bit before a state, maybe a yesterday's image, or maybe a kind of a point in time, previous point in time image, right? So in a traditional way, and maybe generally, I think you are going to keep all the latest backup copies on the disk. But if you want to restore your database back to a point in time recovery, so which is might be a 24 hours before, or maybe a 48 hours before image copy, and in that case, you need to depend on your storage admin team to restore the backup copy onto the disk. Then you have to start your restore process, right? It's kind of a tedious process. You have to depend on multiple teams to get your backup copy onto the disk before you start the restore process. But using Activios, so it is very simple. You don't need to depend on your restore for restore. You don't need to depend on your backup teams or maybe a tape admin teams. You can use a simple GUI tool and just click and select your backup image and select the restore option, and your restore will be ready. So the restore process pretty much is equivalent to your traditional restore process, because we cannot deviate from that, as we need to restore the database back to your production storage, so that you, apart from that, through Activio, you can orchestrate entire this activity using a simple GUI method steps. And you can see on the screen on the left hand side, imagine that the particular database application, this is your backup image, and you have selected the particular image, and you just selected restore. And when the disaster occurs, you just go to the scheme and select your backup image and select the restore, and another window appears. Here you can able to select the restore roll forward time. Okay, this is the button. You can scroll forward and backward, and you can select a feasible time, and you can submit the button, and your restore will complete. In a traditional way, you have to depend on your restore admin, a tape admin, or maybe a backup admin to provide the backup copy onto the disk, right? There is a slight delay or maybe a marginal delay to get the copy, to identify the right copy, and has to copy onto the disk. It's going to take a tedious process. To avoid all these things through Activio, using a GUI button, the moment you saw the disaster, within a minute you can able to start this restore, and just completely, this orchestration is completely a GUI. You don't need to worry about which image you wanted to get back from the tape and all. You can see all the images, and you can select whichever the backup image you wanted to use for the restore operation, and simply just go through the GUI and select restore button, and select the desired time for your roll forward, and submit the restore option. Okay, so this is all about the restore database, which you are able to achieve through completely a GUI orchestration using Activio.
Thank you for joining us for another YouTube Tech Tip video. If you like the content you're seeing on this channel, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you will be alerted to any future content.